I would direct your attention to the board norms. I think we've been doing a pretty good job of sticking to those, and I appreciate everybody's efforts in that regard. Next, we have recognitions, but we don't. Do we have any recognitions?
No recognitions tonight.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any patron comments? No patron comments tonight. Moving right along. I know we have superintendent reports.
Yes,
And
plenty of those.
first up is technology, correct?
Yes, Mr. Greer, our Director of Technology is here.
Thanks for the pumpkins. Thanks for the pumpkins.
They're super cute.
Yeah, our little 3D printed pumpkins, thank you.
Thank you.
One of my guys, Austin, loves 3D printing. He made all those for me.
It's fun.
They're awesome.
Okay. So where we are today, we're 1-to-1, 5th through 12th grade, and we have enough devices for K through 4. Pretty much not a whole lot's changed since last year. 6 PC labs, charging carts in all the classrooms K through 7, 5,538 computing devices on a 5-year rotation. That's actually down from last year. Now that we have enough devices for everyone, we're not going to be trying to increase devices anymore. So it'll be driven by class sizes at this point. 315 access points, 2 wireless controllers to support Wi-Fi in every classroom, 255 cameras and video surveillance system capable of retaining approximately 3 weeks of video. We are up many door access controls this year. We're up to 71, and there will be more coming. Up a few phones, 391 phones this year, 2 internet connections, and we support 103 switches, 23 servers with 63 virtual servers on them, web filter, cache box, and firewall. Infinite Campus. About a year ago, right after I gave the report, we got news that Tyler SysK-12 was getting out of the business. So we jumped on and started the process early to try to get ahead of most of the other schools, and we are still in the process. It has been a lot of hard work by everyone in our department, because even the people that haven't been working with Infinite Campus have had to pick up the slack from those of us that are working with Infinite Campus. So we've been having weekly meetings with them, and actually, as of this week's meeting, we are going to go to every other week meetings. And we have a few imports left. We still have lots of trainings going on. We were one of the few schools that got enough done early on that we were able to do online registration. A lot of the schools that switched over had to do paper registration this year. So we are, I feel we're in a good place. I think last school board meeting or the one before that, we purchased the VersaTrans and SpedTrack 2-way integration. So it's going to go between the programs, and whatever they change will come back into Infinite Campus. That's left to set up, and the deadline for that, or the timeline for that is to be done by October 27th. The historical data is also set to come in on October 27th. And since I did this presentation, the fines and fees have been imported in.
Oh, good.
Help desk, pretty much on par. The gray bar is the highs and lows of the last, I think I have like 13 or 14 years of data now. So as you can see, last year we skimmed on the high end in September and October, but most of the rest of the year we were in the middle. May and June were a little high, but that's because summer school went longer than normal. So because more computers were in use during those months, our numbers are a little higher. And then the purple line is so far this year, and as you can see, we're just right in the middle again. One-to-one learning initiative, pretty much the same as last year. We're full swing. The students at 5 through 12, the students keep the same Chromebook. 5 through 8. Actually, 5 through 7th, they keep it here. They keep it at school. And oh, I said 5 through 8. Sorry. they get one in 5th grade and they keep it through 8th grade, and then they get a new one in 9th grade and they keep that through 12th. And like I said, after the ones are done in 8th grade, there's normally a couple more years left on them. Those go down to the elementaries, and so our numbers are gonna work out hopefully for a long while that we'll have enough. In addition to that, Chrome or Google has announced that they're gonna start supporting them. They were supporting them for 7 years, and now they're gonna support them out to 10 years. So as long as they're not broke, they're gonna be usable for a lot longer time for us. There were 458 one-to-one tickets last year, 22-23, and there's been 95 tickets, one-to-one tickets so far in 23-24. We added a 15-slot charging station in the library, which actually this week it got moved out into the hallway so it was more accessible. And we are going to purchase another one for the Commons so that students can put their device in and charge while they're eating lunch. And we moved the one-to-one help desk to one of the outlying rooms in the library that has a door to the hallway so that when the library is closed, the students still have easy access to the help desk. And then that chart right there, I only have one and a half years of data on that, so we're just starting that. But that is one-to-one specific help desk, so those numbers are not included in the regular help desk. We are continuing to work with MS ISAC. We did the report last year. We haven't got any feedback from it yet, but the data collection cycle is going to start for this year. It's going to start in November so hopefully we have some sort of feedback before we have to start reporting this year again so that we can show growth, but if not, we'll just report what we have. I mean, we have made progresses. The insurance company, Music, required us to do the next gen antivirus, which is EDR, emergency disaster or recovery. It's basically antivirus with an AI, so it can it knows what you normally do, and if it's something out of the normal, it flags it and notifies us. So we implemented that. And the company that did that, when they were setting it up, we had 30 days of monitoring where they went through the logs. They were very surprised at how little we actually had go through, and I will say that is thanks to Stephen Schaefer. He keeps our network so secure, and I mean, I know sometimes the teachers thinks it's too secure, but if something needs opened up, we open it up. So, but he keeps us in good shape. District Technology Committee, and we've not met this year at all, but that is the members of it. And goals: continue to work with MS ISAC and the Center for Internet Security to provide a more secure networking environment. Continue to work with PDC Committee and Technology Professional Development for staff, and maintain the amount of technology devices and resources. That is no longer get there. We're maintaining now. I'm so happy to say that.
Awesome.
Okay. Any questions for me?
Was it last year that we started a class at the high school for kids to learn to do maintenance on the Chromebooks?
Yes.
Is that still happening?
It was offered, but we didn't have any interest in it this year. That was in my long report that I submitted.
Okay, I apologize, I missed it.
It's fine. We actually used one of the students actually completed the class. The other one fell behind and didn't complete the class.
Yeah, I thought there was only one at the end of the year last year.
And the one that finished, we did use them for summer help.
Okay.
And he's gone on and he's going to Rankin Tech College now.
Right,
So.
right, that's what I understood. So, but there's nobody this year at all?
Nobody signed it. There was some interest, but it conflicted with other classes that they had to have. So.
I just wondered, and I'm sorry I missed that, no longer
Yep.
stuff.
Okay, hopefully next year we'll have students again. I know Miss Albertson would love to have students again.
Right.
Your 458 one-to-one tickets in 22-23, was that for the whole school year?
Yes. And that's just one-to-one devices. That Miss Albertson does does the one-to-one devices solely on her own. And she also keeps track of the inventory, and she's been doing the fines and fees, so she's been assessing the insurance, she's been assessing the fees for repairs. So it's worked out really well to have it all centralized.
Anybody else have any questions?
For the, making the shift from the Promethean boards to the new line panels over the next several years, is that for all of the classrooms?
The classrooms that have boards, the interactive boards, which is mostly elementary, and some Blackhawk has interactive boards, and then like math classes at high school still like to have interactive boards. They'll get the new line panels, and then as the other classrooms come up that have projectors, we'll probably replace them with like non-touch televisions because they'll be cheaper and they'll last longer.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank
Thank
you.
Counselor program?
Yes, I think Mrs. Sparks is going to be giving our presentation with one of our.
Yes, this is Emily Schnilde. She's our new counselor at Warrior Ridge, and Rebecca Boone, and I wanted to bring in Boone. Boone is 9 months old. He's in all the classes to be a therapy dog. He's doing extremely well. But I just wanted you to meet Boone, so that you can see that soon he'll hopefully be working with Raider.
Aptly named.
Yes, that was the easiest name I had. In just a quick story, I got a phone call in the spring from my trainer. Of course, had first started the therapy dog training in Sedalia, and so a trainer had called me and said, "I found this dog at 17 weeks old. You want to go meet it?" So I went to Springfield, Missouri, to meet, and my trainer met me there. He was farther away, and she looks at me and she goes, "Well, what do you think?" Well, I don't know. They picked the dogs for me, you know. And I said, "Well, I really think he's sweet." And she goes, "Oh yeah." And so he's at Canine Solutions. He is.
He wants to know why you're
talking
about it. It's so cute.
And he's in the advanced classes now. Has passed 2 tests. I know, sorry, buddy. But and then so he will finish up. He'll be professionally finished up there. All right. And Allison wrote this for me. So if I goes blurry, it's you. And it says, "Good evening." My name's Virginia Sparks, you know that, so let's skip that. Okay. Currently, we have 3 elementary counselors, 2 middle school counselors, and 5 high school counselors, including 1 at the Apple program. We also have 3 ESC counselors that work amongst the buildings. The counselors support the district's CSIP goals in various ways, most notably through supporting increasing student attendance and supporting students' mental health. CSIP focus area student achievement, which is goal 1, and CSIP focus area health and well-being is the second goal. Your turn. I know she does not know who's going to get to her, but I knew I was going to do that to her. I don't know what the problem is. Go for it.
Some examples of how counselors provide these supports are elementary and middle school counselors help track attendance and reach out to families via phone or home visits to address barriers for attendance, work with students to increase engagement at school, and build community with families. High school counselors help track attendance, send home pulse attendance reports, and work with students on increasing engagement. High school counselors also introduce and work with students on the A+ plan, meeting individually with students throughout their high school career to address academic and career goals and addressing A+ eligibility. All counselors work closely with their building staff, teachers, and administrators to identify students in need of additional support and ensure that students are met with as often as possible when difficult situations arise. The counselors and ESCs work together to support students and families in seeking outside mental health supports by making referrals to Compass programs we are partnered with, providing resources in the community for outside counseling and psychiatric services, and referring to and attending
office, DFS, Compass, and any other agency involved with our students to ensure that we're fully wrapping around our students and meeting them where they are at, to support their mental health needs so they can be successful as possible in our buildings. Counseling staff and EC provides crisis support when students are escalated emotionally or behaviorally, experience mental health crises, or having suicidal thoughts. We also provide mediation for peer conflict, education on coping strategies, social skills, conflict resolution skills, and more. And this is the last paragraph.
The counselors in this district do all of this and so much more every day, with the goal of supporting all of our students to be at school, be healthy, and be ready to learn so they can achieve all of their educational goals while feeling like they have a place to belong. We are always striving to ensure that students feel safe, loved, and supported while they are in our buildings, so they can graduate and move on with a secure foundation for the rest of their lives. Thank you.
Well, just some success stories of Raider, and I know this is not Raider, but Boone,
Yeah.
but, you know, our therapy dog has been worked wonders at Rebecca Boone, so thank you very much
Especially
for
with
bringing
the
that.
tier 3 kids,
Right.
and yeah, has just been absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And I do want to
Good
just
club.
brag on something that Rebecca Boone, the administration, lets me do as a counselor, which I very much appreciate, besides the dog, which is out of the comfort zone of most people. But they let me start a student ambassadors program, and I appreciate them. Last year and then this year, we get to leave the building with them, and we get to do the Operation Backpacks. And this year's we're going on to take a little bit more, but it's been amazing how it works together. So I appreciate the district being open to letting us do creative things like that with our students too, because it's a huge impact. And some of our kids even pack their own bags, but we get to talk about what those bags mean to the district and to the kids. So we appreciate all the support that way too. We appreciate the support you give counselors, period.
Thank you. Yes.
At all levels.
Thank you.
We appreciate everything you do to support our kids. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks for bringing Boone to meet us.
Hey, dude, you ready?
He's like, wait, I was having a nap.
He has 3 months left.
He is the most chill.
Yes, I can see
Yeah,
that.
beautiful.
I know.
And we'll send the paper stuff to
All right, thank you. Next is career and technical education.
Yes, it's, the rest are mine, but I do
Okay.
see that Dr. Ross is holding the iPad. Did we take a break for technical difficulties?
No, I don't know that it'll make it.
Okay, still, let's keep on trucking. So, thanks for your endurance of holding
Yeah.
that iPad. Okay. So career tech, just real quick, let's go through these, just kind of where the numbers are. You can see it broken down more in your packet of each class, but these are just kind of the overviews. So this is 4 Rivers, so we have our students that travel down there. And so we've got auto mechanics is about the same where it is. Computers is down, which I kind of find interesting. Also, they're down with us as well. I just think the interest in that might be down for whatever reason. Construction is also down, but I think there's a lot to do with our own programming that we've been implementing in our own high school. You know, the welding classes and things that we've changed there. Education staying about the same, very low. Wish that number was higher from a personal trying to hire a teacher perspective. Medical is about the same. Project Lead the Way has been about the same over the last 3 years. Then at our high school, our agriculture numbers are up considerably, 178, which is good news. The business and marketing is also up. Facts is about the same. So you look at second semester and first semester, so it's just the way the courses fell, I think. But if you look at from 23, 24, 21, 22, they're about the same. IT is down slightly, and that's our industrial tech courses. Journalism's down slightly, and Project Lead the Way is down a little bit too as well at those levels. But all in all, career tech seems to be doing strong at the high school still, and so that's good to see. The middle school, you know, we have ag at the middle school, and it's pretty consistent where we've been, down a little bit, but about the same. Business and marketing is down. That's mainly due to the way that our 8th grade computers is structured, and they're revamping that. I think we'll see those numbers come back up. It's just the way that it was laid out for 8th grade computers class alone really impacted that. Facts, again, staying about the same at the middle school. Industrial tech, again, about the same. Journalism is down a little bit, and Project Leafway looks like a little bit up. But all in all, pretty consistent with our career tech. So that's kind of where our numbers are. So we'll continue to explore opportunities for career tech opportunities for our students in the Warrenton area. Dr. Ross and I talk a lot about apprenticeships and industry recognized credentials and how can we partner with businesses. So probably with our next staffing plan, we'll be bringing additional staff to the high school that will handle both dual credit for college and additional career tech connections to help get that off the ground a little bit more than we've been able to do ourselves. So that's something that we're working on to do is see more internships, apprenticeships, that sort of thing with our kids going out and working directly with that. That's been a struggle to get off the ground, but something we'll continue to work on and try to develop plans to get going. And that's it on that one. Questions?
I wish I would have asked you for the numbers earlier, but I am curious in general at some point to know how many students we have that go to school part-time so that they take advantage of the extra time that they could be working. Do you?
I can get that. I don't
Yeah,
have that right
yeah,
now.
I
Like
should have
work
asked you.
release.
Because I am curious, because I feel like that kind of plays into some of these things as well. Like some students might not be signing up for the courses because
Right.
they're already working.
Mhm.
They're already working.
Right. And when I met with our high school students not too long ago, just to talk to them about school, and I asked them, what are you guys doing on Mondays, in the 4-day week? And I'm working. Almost every kid I talk to is like, I'm working, I've got a job, I'm doing this. So there could be some kids that work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, pick a few more hours, almost pick up 40 hours a week during the school year, but they all have jobs. I think it's a tremendous learning opportunity for them outside the classroom is to be engaged with our community, whatever job that they have. Just showing up on time, learning how to work with their boss and work with others. So anyway, there's a lot of learning that goes on with that. But so to me, it was an interesting comment from our high school students. They said they'd finish their homework and then they go out, they work. That's kind of how they spend their Mondays. So I think we have some built-in, and just the way our schedule is set up, built-in internship type opportunities. But I think we definitely do more.
Anybody else? No, we'll go on to the financial update.
CSIP.
Oh, CSIP, sorry, thank you. Somebody stop me.
Right, and this is just our quarterly high-level update, and we'll go in depth in January, but we want to make sure we're just keeping this in front of everybody. So Lucy, if you just kind of scroll down, let's kind of go through the goals as we go. Our first one's about academic achievement and meeting the A+ standard. Grades are finishing this quarter, so we don't really have any data on that for this year. So I'm hopeful that'll go well. Attendance has been up this year so far, so we're anticipating that number will be a little better. So going down to our next one here. Thank you, Lucy. Let's see, so reading on grade level, so we've implemented a new reading standard this year with our STAR assessment. That's been implemented so far. It's just meeting with our elementary principals this week, kind of going over some of this data, and we're still trying to determine how to read the data. So hopefully we'll have that figured out, I'm sure, by there. It's just different than what we've had before, so we've got a little transition going on here. But I think the science of reading has been a real positive thing for us that we've been transitioning to a little bit, and our literacy coach has been working a lot. We've had a lot of teachers go through training over the summer, so I think we'll see some positive results there as well. Thank you, Lucy. This one here, we're still working on our longitudinal data. We are approving a contract tonight. We still have pending approval with Canvas to get our Canvas data back. Once we get that data in place, we'll start being able to develop this. So we're getting much closer to that. Health and well-being. So this one we have on our website. This has already been done, so we're good there. Discipline. You're good. So our discipline numbers are drastically down this year, particularly at the middle school, which is great news. I know I'm not able to send like last year I was able to send all the data to you, but because we switched over to Infinite Campus, like Ron was talking about, there's a lot of things that don't necessarily line up. So we're still working on getting that put together, but so I can send that to you monthly so you can be up to speed. But from the data that I'm seeing, they're definitely down
Good.
a lot, which is,
Good.
it's not like we're ignoring behavior. I want to make sure that that's clear, that it's just students behaving better. It's not just ignoring office behavior, not doing anything about it. Because that is a narrative that gets out there, and that's just not a true narrative. Our students are just behaving better, which is really what we want. Okay, so our next one, Lucy. Okay, we did not retain 90% of our staff. So, keep on going down, you're good. So that one we did not meet.
Keep going.
Yep. We do not have the same salary as Bright City and probably will not this year. Continue to work on that though. Mental health options, we're doing more and more for staff on that. The wellness committee continues to meet and develop those sort of things, but yes, we're increasing those options. Let's see, academic platform, that's the same with our idea with the Canvas data coming back, so once that gets in, we'll hit this goal as well. Then we've been hosting events, so we can check that one, that's good, got that one going. And we're still working on partnerships, kind of we talked about the career in tech. We hope to do more. We're not quite there where we need to be, but we're continuing to work on that. Overcrowding, so this is a lot to do with our proposition, our no tax rate increase, to make sure we have space to build buildings, so we're all working on this together. This hasn't been accomplished for sure, but we are definitely continuing to keep an eye on overcrowding. The last one is early childhood, same thing again with our proposition, so hopefully we can be hitting that with our proposition. And the last one I believe is bus fleet information, so we will continue to be purchasing buses, buses we ordered last year, not in yet, but hopefully they will be soon. They're supposed to be here soon, but we will be purchasing more buses this upcoming year. So that's pretty much the high level. I think that's the last one. Right? Yep, that's our last one. So any questions on CSIP? Just kind of high level stuff. All right.
Okay, now financial update.
Now we're on finances.
Sorry about that.
Oh, well, okay, let's go backwards. Okay, monthly report as always. Fund balances are a little higher than last year, which is great. This year our revenues are a little bit lower than they were last year though, and expenses are up a little bit compared to last year. But when we look at our line graph, this is probably the most important thing that I look at, is are we trending about the same as we did last year? And we are, so that's positive. So this year's, of course, the orange line, last year's the green line, and the blue line was 2 years ago. And so we are trending about the same. We started with a higher fund balance, so we're doing just fine there. So the big question mark really will be, what's our local revenue come in at? So once in January and February, that'll be our big question mark, and be able to determine where our ending fund balance is. So, but to the first quarter of the year, we're trending very consistent where we have in the years past. Funding revenues. So locally, we've got $2 million local revenue. County's up a little bit, and the state's up a little bit, because we're going to transportation from the state is the main difference there. And then federal funds, of course, are lower at this point, but that'll be catching up to us, I think, as we go forward. Then expenses, salaries are up as expected, so we did give raises. Benefits are, go along with that. Purchase services are up a little bit. Supplies, as we mentioned last month, we just purchased some more in the summer, so we're just being consistent, being ahead of where we were. So that's kind of where we are on expenses. And then our fund balance for capital projects is at 1.6 million right now. We might see some fluctuation on that because we did spend our last dollars on our ESSER 3 funds because we wrapped up our last project over the summer. We will be receiving money back in that, so there might be a little cash flow issue next month, but hopefully not. Hopefully it all happens in the same month and we'll be fine. So that's kind of where we are. Any questions on any of that?
Okay. So our next order of business is the consent agenda. Does anyone have any questions about anything on the consent agenda? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Still no questions, right? Everybody ready? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Consent agenda is passed. So old business, we have policy approvals.
Right, these are all MSBA recommendations to either align with new language from the federal government, USDA, or new laws.
There was one that was pretty much all wiped out.
All wiped out. The last one, was that?
No. Okay, so it's BBFAF1.
The school board member ethics one?
Yeah. It pretty much says I understand the board policy BBF. Is that just like a different one? And then that's got all the ethics on it?
Yes, I think that's, let me scroll down.
Because this one was just written and then it's all, I mean, it's obviously what it was. So was it just redundant?
Yeah, it was just redundancy, and I think MSBA was just trying to clean that up.
Just maybe in my head it would make more sense to just delete it.
Yeah, me too, probably.
It's just saying, I agree with a different policy.
Right.
Yeah, it's just the form saying that you've read that policy.
But
We could just read it.
Signing this? Are we gonna end
Yeah.
up signing this?
You know, I don't know.
It's got a place for a signature of the board member
Okay.
So
on the next
how
page.
often are we supposed to sign it?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Right. We should check and make sure we're not out of compliance somehow,
And I wonder if it's just whenever you're sworn in, maybe,
maybe, but I don't remember doing that.
and maybe we
So-
haven't been. That's very
Okay.
possible. Yeah.
So that's a good point. We need to,
I'm just
Well-
scrolling and reading and
I
yeah.
mean,
So, yeah, cause in my head, I just would imagine us not having this if it's nothing.
A redundancy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if it is something, if this is us signing it, then I'm fine with it. But if there's no need for it, we can just change the other one to have us sign the other one. Like,
Yes.
this doesn't make. And I
It-
know we're
it
just
could
calling
be-
MSBA.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
recommendation. We can do whatever we want. But I think we probably should have been signing it. It's probably something that we've just missed.
it looks
Yeah.
that way to me.
Yeah, I think so.
So like, I would, unless this is, I'd rather not say yes to this one
Sure.
yet. I'm just talking to, to my board colleagues. I'd rather us either figure out if we can just sign the other one and then not have this one, or if we need this one to sign.
Yeah, well, the other one isn't a form. The other one would just be the policy.
Right, this one's a
This would,
form.
this would be the form that goes with the policy.
Then I'd be fine if we moved forward with it, but then I just need to find out when we're supposed to sign it.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be, we're just chatting over here, it could be every 2 years when we approve our ethics thing that we approve, or it could be when we'll get more clarity on that.
Okay.
Find out when we.
Then I'm fine moving forward and voting on it. I just want to make sure we do it.
Odds are we're messing up and
Okay.
not doing it,
Thanks for
so.
bringing that up.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions or comments about any of the policies? Okay, I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve these policy suggestions.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the policies. Any further questions?
I am one click away from opening BBF.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
sure.
that's fine, we can wait.
It's just, in deep thought.
Yeah, our
now.
policy.
It's, the wheel is spinning.
Yeah.
Is the one
Yeah,
where
and
it's
now
all
it's like
crossed
3
out?
dots.
Well,
It's-
she's looking at the one that refers to, that's the form that refers to the list of ethics. And so she's looking at,
So this one does not have a signature.
right,
Um,
because it's
And
just
it
the
has the
statement
list.
of
Yes.
the list of ethics. And then the other one is the form that should have been, it should be signed by each member.
So could we just add the signature to one so that?
Well, that's what we were kind of just talking about, but the form is different from a policy.
So I
like
think that they probably did this, they probably took it away, so that way if we ever do change the ethics one, we don't have to change both of them.
Got it.
That makes sense too.
Okay.
There's a signature form saying you agree with and will abide by all of those ethics and, yeah.
So I think we have to approve BBF, or we have to, so we had the statement this year that we approved this last time. You know, it's just a kind of procedural thing, I think we've kind of, yeah, we did something with the Ethics Commission, and so we'll get more clarity on it. We might, our process might be off a little bit on this one.
Okay, then we'll try to clean that up.
Yeah, get that cleaned up,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Anything else before we vote? I still have a motion and a second to approve. All right, all those in favor of approving the policies, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, thank you. Thanks everybody for being diligent about looking at them. I think we're ready for new business and we have intergovernmental agreements for our SROs.
Yes, so this is some exciting news. So the city of Warrenton and the city of Truesdale have agreed to partner with us to add more school resource officers in all of our buildings. So this agreement would allow us to have an SRO in our main facilities of Daniel Boone, Blackhawk, Warrior Ridge, Rebecca Boone High School, giving us 3 additional SROs in the district, which I think would be a very positive thing. So the agreement, so there the city of Warrenton would pay 2/3 and we would pay 1/3 of the cost. The SROs for Truesdale would be, that Truesdale would pay half and we would pay half. So that's kind of the agreements that we have here, and
It would be one SRO, it would just be the Rebecca Boone SRO for Truesdale, correct?
correct. So
And
so-
then the other 4 would be with Warren.
correct. So Rebecca Boone's in the city of Truesdale, and so that's their jurisdiction, and so they've agreed to support us there. Yeah.
I can't remember what, like, before we started adding, what was the current agreement with the city of Warrenton for pay?
50/50.
And so, are we going to continue paying 50/50 for those other positions and then now pay 2/3 for the new ones? Or are all of the positions gonna be now us paying 2/3?
All would be 2/3.
Okay.
I definitely appreciate you reaching out to both government agencies. I think having someone in the building and shortening that response time, making sure that our kids are safe, is of the utmost importance. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate both cities being so willing to help us out in that realm.
Sure, and they're both doing what they can. You know, of course, we wish the city of Warrenton was the same as Truesdale, kept it at 50/50, but we understand their budget constraints as well, and so it will cost the district a little bit extra to have that, but I think it's a critical piece that we need to fund.
And Warrenton's doubling the number of officers that we're going to be using,
Yeah.
so that's kind of understandable.
Right, and it is an additional expense they're taking on there.
Sure.
It's a good investment.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had lots of discussions about safety and we're all concerned about that very much, so I think this is a good move in the right direction, gives us more coverage and, should make parents and staff feel safer, I would hope, so.
I'll move the approval of the intergovernmental agreements contracts.
I'll
as
second.
presented.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve both of these agreements with the cities. Does anyone have any further questions or is there any discussion? right, if not, I would say all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? All right, very good. And the next item is the naming of the Early Childhood Center.
Yes, it's been one of our board goals for the year, was to name the Early Childhood Center. I've emailed you some suggestions we received from the staff at Early Childhood and some community members. I know the board's had some suggestions, I've sent some suggestions, so at this point, we can either talk about the process some more, if we want to do more with that, or make a motion for a name, and we'll rename the Early Childhood Center.
I know what Sarah wants.
I know. Would you like to, you look like you have an idea.
Which one did you like?
I love Hopewell. So Hopewell, I feel like has a dual meaning to it. One is that Hopewell is a section of our county, and on our Warren County Historical Society, it talks about the histories of it, and it was originally called Hopewell Academy, and that was because there's two Hopewells in to distinguish it from the Hopewell in Washington County. And so I like that there's a long history with the name, and it is close, it's southern Warren County. So just the fact that there's historical significance to the name and like it's from our place. But I also love the fact that the more we learn about early childhood, the fact that you want to set those children up for future success. And so you're hoping well for them. And so I just love the play on words. So I love Hopewell. I don't have like the rest of it, whether it be like early in childhood. I don't, but I love that idea, hoping well for the kids. That's my pitch. I didn't write it down. I just thought about it a lot. But I'm willing, if someone's got they got something they want to push for, then feel free.
Are they using something now?
Right now, I believe the official name is Warren County Early Childhood Center, or Early Learning
Special
Center.
education.
Is the official.
Well, it says Early Childhood Special Education Center.
Yeah.
Because I saw the thing
Right.
they used the other day was the Wheat Warriors.
I think they came up with that.
It came
Yeah,
with
that
that.
would,
That's
that could
kind
be
of
their
their,
saying or name.
yeah, their mascot or
I
whatever.
like what you said though. I really like that. I just saw this picture that they posted on their thing on there, and it was kind of cool. I mean, if they wanted to incorporate that, something like that, it could be the Wee Warriors of Hopewell Academy or something like
Yeah,
that.
they
Yeah.
could still
They
be
could
their
still do
kind of
that.
Be their
mascot.
That's
Yeah.
right, they
It
could
could be
do-
what they refer to the
Yeah.
students as.
Sure, I like, and
Yeah.
I like the play on words. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Good thinking.
that's the one that stuck out to me. I'm not originally from here, so I wasn't going to have a opinion, but that was the one that I read it and I was like, yes.
Yeah. I got into an accident on Hopewell.
That wouldn't
Right
be
before my brother's
you
wedding.
wouldn't
But
be the
that's,
first
so
one.
even though I have like some bad memories from Hopewell, I still think it's a lovely area. It's actually one of my favorite drives as you go down heading towards Marthasville. I think it's just a lovely area of our county.
Not in January though.
Right.
No, it was
We-
September. Oh yeah, January.
You know, there were some like specific people's names that were kind of put out there, and we kind of talked to, some of us had kind of talked about some of those names you could maybe find a negative connotation from, because they were early settlers and they maybe did things that we don't approve of now or whatever, you know, just
You could
kind
find
of.
you could find a journal entry of something that is controversial.
Sure.
You know, like
But I think the Hopewell is
But-
generic enough and
Right.
plus meaningful and plus the play on words. I liked it.
Right, it's part of the county, it's part of the district, but it's the hopefulness of the early childhood intervention and stuff, I like it too, so.
I like
I was actually gonna agree with Sarah as well. I mean, when I read through the information around Hopewell Academy, and that's how it originally started. I mean,
Mhm.
academy just obviously sticks out
Yeah.
as a good word for it, an early childhood center too, so I would agree.
We're just all jumping on the Sarah wagon now. We just gotta be careful
I just
here.
was the first to start rolling.
I'm glad you started rolling.
But
That's perfect.
you know, I mean, again, going to this, it says it was one of the first settled
Yeah.
towns in the county, and
Yep.
so
Yeah.
it's just, there's a lot of history to it. But apparently there was never a school built there, according to our
Really?
historic society. So, you know, they had a post office.
So Hopewell Early Learning Center is kind of just to finish out the.
I don't know, what do you guys think, our early childhood?
What would, trying to think of what the one suggestion I saw was Hopewell Academy of Early Learning. or
Early
something like
childhood,
that.
early childhood development.
I'm not told either way
I don't-
on that, I just.
Hopewell
know that
Academy, Hopewell Academy of Early Childhood Learning or something like that.
I personally like the academy
I do too.
in there, but.
What if we
not
did
just one.
Hopewell Early Childhood Academy?
It's a lot of words.
I know.
Yeah,
they
I
all
like-
are, and
I like
mean,
Hopewell Academy
It's
as
less
the
than what
main
it is
thing.
now.
Yeah,
Hopewell Academy is the main focus, then the little print at the bottom could be what they got now, like,
early childhood.
yeah, that's what they have now.
Okay, so I've got Hopewell Academy, and Early Learning Center. Is that what we're thinking?
Well, I think it's more of like a subtext.
Okay, yeah, so Hopewell Academy for early childhood?
Or an early childhood learning center, but like.
It gets
bold,
longer,
small, yeah, it keeps getting
Well,
longer.
like they say here, where they have Wee Warriors would be Hopewell Academy.
Right.
And then underneath it, in the little print says Early Childhood Special Education Center.
I would like to drop
that's what-
I would
The
like to drop.
special education, I
We will
think
still continue to do that, but I
Of
do think
course.
as we move through our bond issue and things, we want to expand outside of
Right,
those
to special-
services.
right.
And do more services for early childhood.
Right.
So the name, we want to think long-term, a little bit, maybe just,
Early Childhood.
you can say Hopewell
Early
Academy
Childhood Center.
and Early Childhood Center.
Mhm.
Is Hopewell all one word?
It is.
It is one word.
The one thing we talked about, I guess this was last week when Greg and Sarah and I met, to set the agenda for tonight, was we have Alpha Academy. And then if this is Hopewell Academy, we don't want there to be any confusion that way, but I don't really think,
I think that's why it
I
goes
think
well.
it's okay to have it, we kind of have that at the beginning and at the end of some people's
Two bookends.
educational journey here, so,
That's true.
okay.
I like
I
that.
mean, that's not a bad thing,
Yeah,
right?
they can be,
Okay.
good deal.
Okay, so, just so I have it right, Hopewell Academy and Early Childhood Center.
I like that.
Did I say that correctly? No?
And or and?
And.
I like it.
And.
Like as
Yeah.
a
And.
Yes.
subtext,
Okay, I thought you
yes.
said and.
Oh,
I was
Hopewell
like, I
Academy.
think it's all one thing, okay,
And
and.
early,
childhood.
and early childhood center.
I like
And.
it. I don't think we need the AN.
Yeah, I don't think it's in
Just
there.
early
Okay, just take
childhood
out Early
center.
Childhood Center. I'm with that.
Yeah, yeah, because that's
Okay.
what.
Hopewell Academy, Early Childhood Center.
Yeah, Hopewell
That would-
Academy
that
will be
would
the
be
big print,
Mhm.
little print will be Early Childhood Center.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Get rid of the
that's
and.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, do we need to vote on this? I think we're all.
Yes, I would think we
okay.
would need a
Okay,
motion.
that's fine. Someone ready to make a motion then?
I remember exactly what it was.
Somebody
Yeah.
remember it? Okay,
I make a
Sarah?
motion, to rename, this seems very like, so fast and so official. I make a motion that we rename our current building of early childhood special education to Hopewell Academy Early Childhood Center.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to change the name to Hopewell Academy Early Childhood Center. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. Okay, that's official. How's that? Policy first reads, we have one.
Yes, this came from our nurses. There's one sentence in our screening requirements that say it must be held in September and October for nurses, and sometimes it just isn't possible. And so there's like, can we just take that out? We'll still have a calendar and all the things we were gonna do it, just take that one line out. That seemed fine to me, so. That'd be a district recommendation.
So the understanding is that the nurses will still conduct all the screenings that are,
Correct.
that have been conducted,
Yep.
but just not be constrained to those 2
Right,
months.
yeah,
That
correct.
2-month
Yeah,
period.
just to get things scheduled and all the people that you need to do it. It just doesn't work out sometimes to get it done. And no one wants to be in violation of policy, and so they would like to clean that up.
And that's just a first read, so we
First
don't
read,
take
no
any
action.
action on it tonight. Okay. All right, next thing, miscellaneous celebrations. Who wants to go? Celebrations.
I've got a bunch of them, but I was gonna let everybody else go.
We're so shocked.
Well, the first one I had tonight, I saw, this was just today, I saw that a gentleman by the name of Chad Pieria, I might be saying his name wrong, and Certainty donated a 3D printer and a filament for the printer to our robotics team.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
So that's really cool, that just another example of how blessed we are that our community really gets involved in helping our kids out. So the robotics team is gonna benefit from that. Mary Owens, I was blessed last Friday to go down and mark for the girls' golf team at the
Now you're
district tournament.
stealing mine.
Well, I told you to go first.
No, it's okay. She's mine, but okay.
Okay. Well, and I was down there, I didn't, of course, when you don't mark your own players. So I had another team, but she qualified, that was one of her goals, preseason goals. And so congratulations to Mary and her family. They were all there. It was tough conditions. I mean, they played the ball down. It was a chilly morning on Friday morning, if you remember, windy. She tied for 14th in the district in the top 15 go. And there were some really quality individuals down there, so she did really well.
When's
So,
this state?
State in Farmington this coming Monday and Tuesday. So down in Farmington. So good luck to Merrick and Coach Anderson and Coach Huff as well, because I know he spent a lot of time with her as well. Softball is in districts as we speak, and they're winning 3-0 after the 4th inning against
All
Marshall.
right.
So congratulations to Coach Barry Pettit Dodge this week as they compete in district play. They got a really tough district. They were seeded 3rd, and they played in Jefferson City tonight. Football's playing for a conference championship tomorrow night against at Orchard Farm. They ran a record of 7-0 this past Friday night with an exciting homecoming win. So that was kind of cool. I know the cross-country team competed today in the GACs. Don't have any results of those today. Soccer, I got to witness that the other night. I went to senior night for volleyball. Announced, the girls had asked me to announce for them, so I went in and announced for them for senior night, and then I went out and watched the soccer team, and they won 3-0 over St. Charles West, and they're really having a good season too, so that was really exciting. And that's all I got. I know that shocks you. Really cool though. It's a lot of good things going on. I'm just telling you, I just can't be more proud of our just a whole school, but academic school, just things going on. We just got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm just really proud of all the efforts that are going on.
Anybody else?
Well, I'll give a little celebration to our community. Today we hosted the MoDOT Commission. That's a pretty big deal to have the commission be in your town and be here. And community really came together, big support for MoDOT on their expansion of I-70. So thankful for everyone in the community coming together to support a common goal. So that was good to see.
On, I think it was September 29th, football game, they had a shadow night where the 8th grade band members got to come up and participate in the high school, and it was just so cool to see their terrorized faces and them stepping into such a juggernaut program, and just seeing the other students, show them where to go and invite them in. Like, I just loved observing that bridge moment for band, and it just doesn't surprise me how band just continues to grow and thrive, because it's moments like that where they're building up their program and reaching to the 8th graders and letting them know that there's a place for them there, and they should try again to be in band in high school. So it was an awesome night all around that night.
Anybody else? Okay. Next thing is workshop topics, but we're not having, we're going to the MSBA conference.
That'll be our workshop, is
in
going to the
November,
MSBA.
2nd
Correct.
through the 4th, those of us who can make it. So there are lots of good topics for breakout sessions and things to learn from, I think. So should get some good information. And then the next thing is to set our next regular meeting. I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion to set the next regular board meeting to be on November 9th, 2023.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to set the next regular board meeting for November 9th, 2023. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The meeting is set. And motion for the closed session.
I make a motion for the next closed session to immediately precede the next regular board meeting.
Well said.
Thank you. Motion and second to set the next closed session immediately precede the next regular board meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, and we are adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Oh, you need a motion. Never mind. Boy, I am really not here tonight. Okay.
Jeff made
Jeff,
Move to
thank
adjourn.
you to moving to adjourn. I need a second.
Carol.
Thank you, Carolyn. Somebody needs to rescue me. Okay, all those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Come on, Miss.
Now we're adjourned. Wow.